Well, here we are. I've honestly been dreading this episode. Not for the reasons you'd expect. I don't hate this episode. I don't even dislike this episode. I think it's fine. I even think it's funny at times. But the reason I haven't been looking forward to this one is because this series is supposed to be analyzing Steven Universe. It's right there in the title. But what is there to analyze in this episode? I suppose we'll find out. What I find kind of funny about this whole episode existing is that the crew made it a point that they didn't want to do a Halloween or Christmas episode, but here we are with an April Fool's episode. They held on to this one well after the season 1 finale, just so they could release it on April Fool's Day. Except they somehow overshot it and released it on April 2nd.
What am I doing wrong? The gems can all summon their weapons, why can't I? Isn't there somebody who can help me?
The premise of this episode is Steven still trying to master summoning his shield, at which point Uncle Grandpa shows up to help him. If you know anything about Uncle Grandpa, that's basically the premise of that show. He shows up to a kid with a problem and helps them solve it in the most cartoonish way possible. Uncle Grandpa is kind of the culmination of every absurd trope that existed in cartoons up until this point. It's like a critical mass of nonsense. I can see why people hate the show. I can see why people hate this episode, because this is so over the top for Steven Universe. This is the most cartoony this show gets, and this is not what people signed up for. Oh, so when Amethyst shapeshifts into Rose Quartz, it's a deeply traumatic moment, but when Uncle Grandpa does it, it's wholesome and majestic. Fucking double standards, I tell you what.
Bravo! This guy sure knows how to make an entrance. What do you think, Mr. Dolphin?
There's a lot of non sequitur type jokes in this episode that I'm just not going to be able to talk about, because what the hell do you say about a non sequitur? Like, they gave this dolphin a hat. Hilarious. I said I thought this episode is funny, but that's not to say I'm cracking up at every joke they try. There's a lot of jokes in this one, not all of them are gonna land.
I mean, I literally can't believe it. How is this even possible?
Don't worry, bro. None of this is canon.
It's not canon. That's part of what makes this episode difficult. Which is fucked, because this is literally the episode where Steven learns to summon his shield for real. Like, after this episode, he can just summon his shield on command. It's fun to imagine that all of this did happen and Uncle Grandpa wiped everyone's memory before he left, or it's happening in Rose's room. I think the latter is more likely, but it's not the case. This episode basically doesn't exist. April Fools, there it is. Also, there's a joke about Lars and Sadie being on a sinking ship. I didn't get this one at first because I'm not a shipper. That part of fandom's never interested me.
You should make sure you get this thing polished at least twice a year.
I've heard this one before, that Uncle Grandpa is saying this is somehow foreshadowing the whole diamond thing later in the show, but it's not. The writers of this episode said that wasn't even the intent. This is literally a joke about teeth and getting your teeth cleaned at the dentist twice a year. I know I'm a party pooper, but I'm right. You know I'm right. Boo me in the comments.
I've definitely seen this before.
Really?
I was there, don't you remember? Whoa, hey, it's a rad new cartoon picture show!
I'm pretty sure there actually was an Uncle Grandpa promo during the premiere of this first episode. I'm not sure though, I can't find a recording of the episode premiering. They did the same joke better on Chowder though.
Okay. There.
What about that one?
Yeah, that one doesn't come off. I tried.
Characters in Steven Universe all have 5 fingers, and the biggest tell that Uncle Grandpa is from a totally different universe is that he only has 4 fingers. Out of all of the things in this episode, this is seriously the most off-putting to me.
Like this cool mega super awesome rocket launcher!
Uncle Grandpa, this doesn't seem safe.
Don't worry, kid, I'm wearing a helmet.
This is literally my favorite joke in the episode. The way he delivers it is perfect. I don't know how to explain it. Also, 2 episodes in a row with characters literally getting shot. Damn. Steven gets shot a bunch of times.
Then how about a bazooka?
These are the same bee drills from Future Vision. I thought Garnet said wasps in that episode. These aren't bees.
Yep. He's hanging out with some weirdo. I think he's trying to vaporize Steven.
This is the only bad line read from Amethyst in the whole show, I think. It sounds like each word was recorded out of order or something. It's a bad line read, but it's not canon, so it doesn't matter. Amethyst, best voice actress in the show. Woo! One thing I think everyone can appreciate in this episode, no matter how much you hate it, is all of the faces Pearl makes. It's like every shot. I would pause every time she does one, but I think this video would be an hour long if I did that. What's with cartoons having remote controls for machines that are like right there? Why not have it wired to the machine, or why not have a button on the machine itself if you're gonna stand right next to it? This isn't a critique of the episode per se, but it's a cartoon trope that I see all the time, and it lives in my head rent-free.
No, not Bubble Shield!
What is the point of the shield? I get Steven can throw it, but isn't the bubble, like, objectively better as a defensive power? Having both is cool, but it's redundant. I feel like I've said this before.
Uncle Grandpa?
So that would make him Greg's brother and father?
That would explain a lot.
I don't exactly remember a joke about inbreeding being in this episode, but here we are. Also, check this out. It's the way the Earth actually looks in the show. You can see a huge chunk of Africa is missing and is instead part of South America. Does Garnet kind of seem invigorated by that? Is it like an uncomfortable but kind of a refreshing feeling, like a cold shower? That's just the impression I get from this.
Gem Huddle!
Obviously, we're dealing with some super powerful reality warping entity.
He could be a danger to the fabric of space itself.
Oh boy, I've been planning this one for a long time, and I knew this was the exact moment I was going to talk about this. We're going to talk about power scaling. A lot of fiction that features characters with magical abilities fall into this trap of, can this character beat this character? And Steven Universe manages to stay away from that by following the Stan Lee approach.
The person who'd win in a fight is the person that the scriptwriter wants to win.
Steven Universe doesn't have a power scaling problem because you also don't usually see characters pitted against each other when they're at their strongest. Consider Pearl versus Amethyst earlier in the season, for example. Did Pearl beat her? Yes. Was Amethyst on her A game during that fight? No, probably not. Her judgment was clouded during that whole scene. She was sloppy. Could she beat Pearl if she was on her A game? Who fucking knows? We never see them fight when they're both in a good mind space. However, fandoms of any show with magical people get hung up on power scaling no matter the source material, and this show is no exception. If we want to have this discussion, then Uncle Grandpa would wipe the fucking floor with every other character we see in this show. There's this discussion that happens when people pit Uncle Grandpa against someone like Superman or Goku. Goku would be actively beating the piss out of Uncle Grandpa, leaving him a bloody, mangled mess on the ground. And an identical copy of him would walk into frame, look into the camera, point his thumb at him, saying, "Glad I'm not that guy." Uncle Grandpa wins against everyone. Every time. This video game is a reference to Smash Bros, and it has the frog from Garnet's universe and a character from Uncle Grandpa called Tiny Miracle. The only thing I have to say about that is that Tiny Miracle is voiced by Tom Kenny, and Tom Kenny never plays any characters in Steven Universe. And at that, I am immensely disappointed.
Where are we?
Isn't this the place that Squidward was trapped when he broke the time machine in that one episode? This hot dog shares a voice actress with Pearl. Now we're in the Uncle Grandpa universe, and the first thing I noticed versus the Steven universe is that everything has a ChatGPT style piss filter. Like, Steven is extra yellow during these scenes. I don't know if yellow is the right word, but his skin doesn't look like it normally does. Also, ChatGPT and the Mexico scenes in Breaking Bad have ruined everything with a yellow tint for me. These scenes are going to be impossible for me to analyze because I know literally nothing about Uncle Grandpa other than the characters' names. I've seriously seen like 3 episodes of this show. I suppose that's no skin off my nose. This is analyzing Steven Universe after all, not analyzing Uncle Grandpa. One thing I do remember about Uncle Grandpa and something I really like is Pizza Steve. Pizza Steve is this totally tongue-in-cheek character who's ironically cool. I'm talking about dramatic irony. The audience knows he's a loser, but everyone in the show thinks he's a badass. And I think that's a hilarious concept for a character.
I know all about the crystal gems. Come here, man, check this out. I even made my own gem sona.
Isn't it weird to think that this show's fandom grew so huge so quickly that gem sonas were a thing all the way back in season 1? This is also a reminder that this episode was produced before the finale, but aired after. How long has Amethyst's whip had 3 poppers? Yeah, that's what the end of a whip is called. I had to look it up. It's the part that actually makes the cracking sound. Anyway, I remember seeing it split into 2 most times. Has it been 3 before? I know it's sometimes 3, sometimes 2 in later episodes.
Hey, where's Steven?
Looking for me? Pizza Steven Universe?
That's not my baby!
I love this Pearl reaction, even though this is probably not how Pearl would react in the real show. Remember that she almost let Steven die like 3 episodes ago. Pizza Steve is dead and Amethyst killed him. Amethyst, best character in the show. Woo!
Okay, I'm ready for this episode to end.
Garnet solves this problem the same way she solved the temple in Serious Steven, by just breaking the floor. Also saying what everyone is thinking. What do I say about this? Why this episode? Why does Steven learn to use his shield in the joke episode and not some other more important time? Like I said earlier, it's really strange that this episode is explicitly not canon, but Steven just kinda knows how to use his shield after this point. Fucking say, Uncle.
Now let's see here. Texas, Judy, Blossom, Bubble, Bubble, Eddie, Billy, Manny, Mac, Junior, Police, Swapcast.
All of these are characters from other Cartoon Network shows. SWAT Cats is a deep cut, holy shit. Alright, episode's over. What do I say for a recap? None of this mattered, and I don't hate it. Is it a good episode? No, not really. It's funny at times, but the humor mostly doesn't resonate with me. A lot of the humor in Steven Universe benefits from subtlety, and Uncle Grandpa doesn't know what subtlety even means. Do I still think Shirt Club is worse than this? Honestly, yeah, I think this one is way more fun. And if you want to see new episodes of Gemology a week before they premiere on YouTube, you can subscribe to my Patreon for just a couple bucks. The link is in the description, as always. Shoutouts to my Journeyman patrons, Henri Wickers, Bananas Are Violet, Boomblorp, Gage M, Mike Rochburns, kind of an unfortunate name, Scala LD, The Tamara, and ZT the Fish Guy. Also shoutouts to these apprentice patrons. Next episode is Story for Steven. We're back to good episodes for the rest of the season.